Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Miles Mug for Race 2 from the Monza Grand Prix circuit. But actually it's not the Grand Prix circuit because it's got no chicanes. Quick look at the current standings. After one race, SGP leads the way on 20 points. David Harp in second, SRI in third, but he's not racing today. Steve F1 in fourth, Jason fifth, Demon R sixth, Jimmy seventh, Hay in eighth, Art Pal in ninth, Gary in 10th, Twilight in 11th, Conrad in 12th, Rich Blues in 13th, Bonsall tied 13th, with them both having 0 points. Okay, let's not mess about or hang around. Let's get straight into the action. So here we go then, the Temple of Speed, known as Monza. A fantastic racetrack where SGP is on pole position, and in the commentary box it's Ray joining me as Demon R joins SGP on pole with exactly the same lap times, Ray.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes, should get excitement.
And then you get Steve F1 in third place.
Yep.
And in fourth place we've got Twilight.
Yep, Dave the Harp sitting in fifth, and he'll line up alongside Jason in seventh.
Then we've got Jason in sixth, Art Pal in seventh, Jimmy in eighth. You try to mess me up.
I don't know, I wasn't listening. Conrad's next on the grid, and he'll be followed by Rich Blues.
And then in the back two we've got formerly Gary and Hay.
Yeah, Gary.
Oh, Gary's got a new livery.
He's got a new logo, not a new livery, just a new logo, yeah. He is supporting the Stray Cats Rescue Team for the West Midlands. So yeah, he wanted to show his support as we have a look at the Monza grandstands and the fans waiting in anticipation for the fastest getaway of a GT40. As we're at 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, here we go for the Miles Mug, out the lights go and away. There you go, as you can see on the pack cam, it's a very, very slow start.
Oh, Dave the Harp he's already ahead of Jason. I think Jason's getting on the inside of Dave the Harp. Dave the Harp got a slow start.
Steve F1's got alongside Demon R. I think SGP went for a short shift, and Demon R sort of tagged the back of him in the background. Got Conrad running a little bit wide. Is that Twilight? Sorry, going a little bit wide as well. Right, Curva Grande. We should mention that in these cars around this track, Ray, Curva Grande is not flat out. Oh, Gary's coming in hot. Oh, he's disappeared. Oh, Arpal's spinning. Oh, it's chaos at the first chicane, which is normally the second chicane, but today it's the first chicane.
Yeah, as we don't have the first chicane in this week.
Yep. Oh, Demon Art. Oh, sideways. Oh.
What a save.
Yep, he's like the goalkeeper that played against Man United. A decent save again.
I think he should play for Derby.
Debbie. He played for Debbie. Who's Debbie? Derby. Or as Art Pal's Polish mates call it, Dobby Conte. They got him a chef's apron with Dobby Conte on it, which is quite funny. Okay, Dave Harbour having a look
Jason
at
Jason a bit wide
Jason on the back of Dave. Jason having a look up the inside of Dave down into the Parabolica. And I will admit, this car is probably going to be the slowest car we ever drive around the Parabolica. The braking points for this car around this track are so long. I mean, as an example, for the Parabolica...
We'll still get the Samba bus to go, haven't we?
Well, true. I mean, we'll get on to that in a little while. We'll need to when we need to go somewhere. Dave Hart trying to fend off Jason. Jason's got the slipstream. Rich Blues has got a bit of a bump draft on Jimmy at the moment. Is that Hay or is that Gary? I think it's Gary with the white rear end, isn't it? No, they've both got white rear ends, sorry. Yeah.
Talcum powder.
Yep, Demon R all over the backers. Steve F1 having a look around the outside. Jimmy having a look around the outside of Jason. Demon R making the move into second place. He was in second at the start. He's now back into second. Oh, there's bollards flying. Oh, there's cars all over the place. Oh, Jason's in the barriers. Whoa, Jason's on the barriers. Oh, dear. Oh, whoa.
Whoa. Who was that?
I think Gary was singing that. Was it? You'll raise me up.
Yeah, as we can see Art Pal giving Jason a bump. Through the first Lesmo.
Yep, that it was. Okay, quick recap then. SGP there leading the race with Demon R now in second place, opened up a bit of a gap to Steve F1 in third place as they go through Ascari. Twilight sitting in fourth place with Dave the Harp in fifth, and then Jason sixth. Oh, Demon R sideways. Oh, he's massively sideways. He's managed to keep it straight, but as he kept the position.
Let's give Steve F1 the chance.
So Jason just had a massive moment on the pack cam as well, and he's lost loads of places. He was sixth. He's now not sixth.
Steve F1 never went for the move. He just tucked in behind Demon R, but Demon R's going wide. Steve F1's going with the tighter line.
That is.
I thought Twilight was trying to follow through, as we see. Well, hopefully not. That'll make a mess.
Richard Art, pal. Jason got a bit sideways. Who's that sideways? Somebody's in the pit lane.
Who's in the pits?
I don't know.
Is it here?
It might be, it might be. Oh,
no,
dear.
Gary.
No, Gary's there.
No, not Gary's.
Yeah.
Jumping about, sorry.
Oh, maybe it was Hay then. Wow. We'll have to see what we can find out from the pit lane. Steve F1 did manage to get past Demon R, so sort of through the Parabolica, I think on the exit of the Parabolica, making that move, and I would guess Steve didn't want to make the move into the final corner when there's such a long straight. Oh, chaos, a bit more chaos at the first chicane, sorry. But yeah, Demon R now on the back of Steve F1. But yeah, I was thinking Steve may not want to overtake into Parabolica because of the nature of what's after the Parabolica. Obviously, a very, very, very long straight.
Yeah, so it's Jason in the pack cam getting up beside, is that Jimmy and Rich?
He's just got past Jimmy, is now behind Art Pal.
Is that Art Pal? I thought it was Rich. Sorry.
It's in there, it's Art Pal. Demon R, we'll see if he's going to get sideways through Ascari this time, shall we? No, he's got a nice line through behind Steve F1. Conrad. Was he? I didn't notice. Conrad's got a little bit of a gap to the cars behind him now. Dave the Harp. Oh, Demon R's got a run here. Dave the Harp and Twilight are close together. There they are. I was going to say can't see them yet, but they are there. So a bit of a battle going there. Art Pal now. Jason got past Art Pal on the pack cam. As Demon R now looks like he's trying to have another look at Steve F1 down towards the Curva Grande.
Yeah, Art Pal's just in the inside of Jason coming through the Parabolica. That's easy for me to say, eh?
You're right. All you just say is the Parabolica. You'll be fine. It'll come out right. Is he going to pull out? He is. He's having a look up the inside. No, he's not. He's backed out of it. Demon R not going for the move into Curva Grande. Steve F1's running a little bit wide though. Ooh, switch back. I'm looking at the pack cam as well. Is Demon R going for it? No, he's not. Look at the pack cam. Twilight, he's having a... Oh, no, he's not close to Dave, is he? He's a bit further away. Well, where's he going? Where's he going?
Oh, they're liking the barriers, are they?
Oh! He can't park it! Oh, no, he can't park it! It's reversing!
Why is it reversing?
Well, I don't know. So that's two things we're going to need to find out about now. It looked like his car just wouldn't go forwards. Dear, oh dear, disaster for Twilight as Demon R all over the back of Steve F1 once again.
Maybe the barrier in his eyes was in front of him. He's had to reverse to go around it because when these cars stop, it's hard to get them going again.
True. I mean, it is part. Yeah, I mean, and let's not forget as well. I mean, we aren't watching this live, really. So yeah, maybe something happened that we didn't see. Demon R right under Steve F1's. I was going to say rear wing, but they haven't really got one. They got a flap. He's right up his flap.
I'll be a first in a while.
It will be, yeah.
Free wide. Yeah. Anybody?
Connor, Art,
no, Rich is tucked in behind again.
Yeah. Something I want to mention to put it into perspective. I sort of hinted earlier about how a couple are going wide, going deep. Conrad's disappeared. There he is. He's coming back on. But yeah, we're going to see people going deep, I think, at the Parabolica and the first chicane, simply because all of us drivers have got into the routine of braking at around about 100 metres for the Parabolica. In this car, if you brake after the 200 metre marker board, you're not making the corner. And it's the same for the first chicane. If you're not braking before the 200 metre marker board, you're not making the corner. And it's such a difference in these cars that it is so easy to have a momentary lapse of concentration rate, or even those moments we've mentioned before. Oh, Twilight's coming out of the pits. I wonder if he must have pitted because, he didn't like them tyres. Oh, Demon not making a move.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve F1 into the second Lesmo.
Yeah, that was quite a nice move. And he's even got a bit of a gap coming out.
Yeah.
Like, a couple of tenths.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Well, last time Demon R was ahead of Steve F1, he absolutely bottled it at Ascari. Let's see if he can do a bit better on this occasion. Getting a bit sideways on the way in. How's he getting on? It's a bit sideways on the way. He's wide again. He's dirted that tyre. Somebody tell him there's a racetrack over here. So that's twice then he's been in second place, and twice he's ran wide. He's got away with it in terms of he hasn't spun. Oh, look at the pack cam. Oh, Jimmy was so lucky there. He's lost the position to Connor though. So Demonar's managed to keep facing the right direction, but it has compromised him big time. And once again, Steve F1 is in position to pass him down into the Curva Grande.
Yeah. I think Demonar's got a good enough gap, as we see cars everywhere.
Yeah, if you're in the gravel at the Parabolica, something's definitely gone wrong. Yeah, and if you're in
you get a hat as well, and something's definitely getting wrong.
Definitely, indeed. But that's what I was saying on the previous lap, though. It's so easy. Hay is looks like Hay's pulled over and waiting, and looks like Jimmy is as well. So maybe there was a bit more to what happened there than we saw. Demon R managed to stay ahead of Steve F1.
Oh, he's sideways. That won't help.
No, it won't. It won't help with the fact that Dave the Harp is also closing in as Conrad on the pack cam, making the move on Harpal into the first chicane. No, he's not. He's going straight on. Oh, he manages to keep going in the right direction. But yeah, I mean, that's another one of those break a fraction late in these cars, and he doesn't like it.
No, it doesn't, does it? It just keeps carrying on. And sometimes drivers think they're going slow enough and let off the brakes.
Yeah.
And then they go around the corner and they're like, oh no, no, oh no.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Jimmy's got a run on Rich, but whatever. Oh, Demon sideways. Has completely binned it this time. Is he going around? Dave gets through as well. Bloody 3 out of 3 times of being in second place, he's binned it through Ascari. How the hell?
Jimmy as well.
Yeah.
But we know Jimmy likes to do that stuff. Demonar doesn't.
Well, true. But the thing is, though, I do wonder whether with this car, or Jimmy going defensive, but also looking at attacking, have they got it slowed down enough for this occasion? Oh, Rich, big tank slapper in the middle of the corner. Can he keep it on the track? Well, he's got back on the track, he's okay. But yeah, if you think about it, if you remember looking at footage of old race cars, a lot of the time they were driving it on that limit of just sliding a little bit. And I think this car may be similar, where if you've got a little bit of slide, you're okay. But if you've got massive tank slappers, then that's an issue. Jimmy and Harpal side by side. Here comes Hay up the inside. No, Hay's backed out of it. Might be a wise decision, that. Oh, Dave the Arps all over the back of Steve F1 on the pack cam. Jimmy's wide, but not too wide. They want to put the gravel. I think I've lost Ray.
No.
You're watching. Oh, Dave the Arp making a move. Sorry, go on.
I was looking to remember what the song was. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but 3 out of 3. That's taking him back.
Fool me once.
Oh,
Gary! Oh, he's got to pick up some stray cats over there.
Oh!
He is lucky there.
I don't think he was picking them up. I think he scared them. They're on the run.
Well, if he's down there picking up stray cats, as he tried to get going again, his pussy got shaved.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry for any children watching this, but it is a mature channel, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know about mature. Whoa, Conrod's off!
Oh,
I think it's Conrad. Hayes wide as well. Conrod's got away with he's got away with it. But this is the thing, he's got away with it in terms of it's not facing the wrong direction, as it looks like the pack cam's going on a bit of a onboard lap with SGP up at the front as pounced sideways. How'd you like them apples? Crumbled. Side ride. Oh, slippery.
Who's that? Is that he trying to get on that pump?
It might be, yeah. It was perhaps trying to tuck it for a bit of a slipstream, but Arpow's got the slipstream off Jimmy. Jimmy's got it off Conrad. So, they're flying down towards Curva Grande.
Yeah, who's first on the brakes? Oh, he is late on the brakes. Oh, that was close.
Oh, Jimmy was very close to running wide there as well. I think Arpow was actually very, very early on the brakes there. Oh, hey, very late on the brakes there. Is Conrad getting stopped in time? Is Arpow? I think Arpow may have been nudged.
He's waiting.
Yeah.
Good boy.
He's not been called a boy for about 45 years.
Yeah, I don't think the grandpa can keep up with the reaction times.
Oh, Jimmy!
Oh, Jimmy!
And Twilight says, thank you very much, what a move! Oh, Jimmy, bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember why Twilight was down there, but he had the incident with the barrier, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Actually, you know what? I am hearing that what happened was he went deep into the corner and actually ended up on top of a barrier, and that's why his car couldn't move. But for us, it just wasn't showing us that his car was on top of a barrier. We've got Gary Goods.
Conrad wide. Again.
Yep.
Again.
Gary was off at the Lesmos as well. Gary's now a bit far behind at the moment. Twilight, though, making a move on Conrad down into the Parabolica. Oh!
Conrad's wide.
That's no way to speak about his health. He's only a size 32 waist.
I don't know what size of waist he is.
Well, I'm just guessing. Okay, Twilight made the move. Art Powers made the move. Jimmy made the move. Hayes made the move. He's not a chunky fella, to be fair. He is slim. At least a lot slimmer than me. Artpal got a run on Twilight, but Artpal is on the outside line. You have to be careful here. Artpal's backed out early, but it could compromise him now on the exit. It depends what happens in the middle. Alright, can Twilight survive this? Here's Jimmy. He's not breaking that.
And who was that? Came smashing in Conrad.
Oh, was it a little rough?
I don't know. We'll see if it ever gets reported. It looked a bit smash and go.
It looked a bit forced.
Is that what you call it?
Well, yeah. Jimmy definitely got his braking wrong. Oh, Twilight's running wide into the gravel. Oh, dearie me. As it looks on the pack cam like, I don't know what the cameraman was doing there. So Twilight's going to have to try and get his tyres cleaned up. I should mention as well, feel free to have a look at the tyre wear indicators as Demon R's caught back up to Steve F1. So Demon R flying at the moment. You'll see that the fuel has gone down by just over a quarter of a tank.
Yeah. And that's what's going to happen. But we need to keep an eye on that in other cars and see who's got the most, because that will affect them as well.
Well, yeah, it'll affect what speed the cars can do. So Demon R making the move through the Parabolica. Will he be able to hold on to it though? Well, the side by side, so no one's going to get slipstream here. Demon R with a pretty decent lap time there, at 51.7. Still side by side they go, as Conrad on the pack cam has got Artpal behind him. Jimmy's got Twilight behind him. Steve F1's managed to get ahead as he knows Demon R going deep into the corner. He was brave on the brakes, but can he hold it? Why did you make that noise then, Raymond? Let the fans know. Why was you concerned then?
Because when you were going wide, if you touch the grass, that's you're gone.
Yep, absolutely. Jimmy and Twilight once again into the chicane. Is Jimmy late again? No, he's all right. Connor was a little late. He's got away with it though. Somebody didn't. Who's that? Hay. I think that was Hay that's lost a load of places. And Jimmy looks like he's backed out and let a few through.
I don't know what happened there. Oh, Conrad on the curb. Is he going to keep it going the right way?
He was lucky there. He dipped a wheel. Jimmy! Just slide. He was Jimmy sliding across the track, yeah. Conrad dipping a wheel before the corner, which sent him a little sideways and across the curb. Connor now in the position of being pressured a bit from Twilight. He's a little out off line there. He's all right. We've seen quite a few cars going wide through Ascari already. I mean, you'd think, it would be easy to think, Ray, that this car would be easy to drive around a track like this, but I don't really think it is easy.
No, it's not easy. Like, here, if you go too fast, you're going to go wide, so like we say, this isn't flat out. It's, on the brakes, some in fourth, some people do it in third gear, and then like up here, about 250 metre mark, or just after, you're hard on the brakes right up to the corner.
I'm trying to highlight the pack cam. The main screen's gone to it now as well. Twilight and Conrad. Twilight's just making the move on Conrad. Conrad's wide. He's wide. He's dipped the wheel. This is what you was on it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about for Demon R, but Conrad's lucky he got away with it. But his tyre's going to be dirty, so he needs to take that into account of when he's hitting the brakes, but he got there nicely.
I fully expected to see Conrad facing the wrong direction then.
I know, he's got the gold on, he's got his gold pants on. Is it gold pants with is that a purple thong? It looks like
what it is, it's his blue mankini. Like, it's if you don't know what a mankini is, check it out. It's what Borat. Well, yeah. Conrad's on the inside line. Can he get it slowed down? Yes, he can. Just about. Be compromised in the middle.
I was going to say he's going to be slow in the exit, but Artpal went straight in, touched the back of him. Yep. So safe from that one. Now Artpal's got to watch, because he's going to have hay up in his inside because of being slow with Conrad. Is he going to... Artpal's sliding it around the corner.
Yeah, I think he may have...
Twilight going round the outside.
No, it's Conrad attacking Twilight, yeah. I think Twilight was perhaps a little too cautious on the brakes on the way in. Artpal may have dropped it down to first gear earlier than he would have wanted, and that may be what sent him sideways. Both of the guys behind, though, got a slipstream off the cars ahead. This could be very interesting through Curva Grande. We saw Connor get a bit wide previous lap. There we go. Twilight's backed out.
Yeah.
All good.
That's going to put him under pressure from Artpal, because that'd be a bit slow because he backed out. As we see, Conrad nearly a wee bit deep into that chicane there, but he's doing great.
Jimmy, I think, has just made a move on somebody as well, or he's just caught up to... Yeah, I think he made a move on Rich, or he's in the battle with him anyway. So, interestingly, at the moment, Ray, we're looking at Conrad and the battle for 6th place, which is now a 6-car battle. With the leaders, we've got SGP up at the front, Dave the Harp in 2nd, D1R in 3rd, Steve F1 in 4th, I think you sent Jason in 5th, but they're all a bit spread out at the moment, which is a little bit depressing, really. This is definitely not spread out, though, as Jason on the pack cam. Now,
Oh, Jimmy, you're going to get that slowed down.
Pal, can he get it slowed down? From my side, Jimmy sideways, big more sideways. Someone's off, Hayes off.
Somebody's even more sideways.
I didn't think you'd get more sideways than that, but you can.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, or worse. Okay, how are they going to get on with their braking? I mean, this is kind of a tricky situation for the likes of Twilight and Conrad, where we know that they're quick, but we also know they haven't had the most to practice. Conrad's pretty much had none. So have they got the pace to break away? Maybe, but if a couple of errors creep in, oh, Jimmy, gone for the pits. I don't know why. His tyres are fine and he's got plenty of fuel. Well, Twilight on the pack cam. Now on the main screen, attacking Conrad. Here they go once again. This time with Artpal and Rich Blues behind them. Conrad on the outside this time. Oh, he's wobbling a bit. He's out wide. He's safe. Oh, I think his arse just took an extra bite out of his tongue. You got there in the end. Oh, Twilight, a lot of curb there, I think. I'm just trying to wonder why Jimmy may have pitted. I mean, I don't think he needed to.
Do you think he feels his tyres were going off because maybe because he was sliding, so he's like overheating them, and he's thinking the tyres aren't working? But then you would have your tyre wear indicator on, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw his tyre wear indicator, and there wasn't really any wear. But yeah, maybe he was just feeling that the grip wasn't there for him. Oh, who's that? I think it was that Artpal. I don't know if he went to attack or defend, but he's up the inside. Oh, breathe in. He's backed out of it. Oh, I think he may have realised he went in there a bit hot. Conrad's wide. He's just ahead of Twilight. Of course, yeah, it's there now. Artpal, yeah, definitely compromised himself a bit there, hasn't he?
Yeah. So we see, is that Rich Blues? Yeah, Rich Blues going round the outside. Artpal up. Because Artpal backed out, he's just slowed himself down, but Rich Blues can't get it done. Artpal with a wee bit of a tighter line, maybe a gear change helped him.
Yeah, could have been. Maybe
Twilight going for the move on the back of Conrad. He's pulled out, Jesus. He didn't like the purple form.
No. This could get interesting right behind him as well. Conrad on the outside. That's going wide. That's going very wide. Oh, Conrad's had a disaster. No, he hasn't.
Oh, he's got to watch his braking. His tyres are dirty. They're overheated. Is he going to get it slowed down?
Oh, Hay
yeah,
didn't.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Hay got in there a little bit too hot, maybe. But yeah, they all managed to get through there just about. But once again, Conrad, I mean, it was more sideways this time through curve and ground than it was previously. Oh, I didn't see it.
One on the outside and one on the inside of Artpal. Conrad went out round the outside, Rich Blues went on the inside, and there's never made contact. Nice, lovely done. As we see Gary and Conrad.
No, it's Hay. Yeah, it's Hay. Gary's at the back there.
Yeah, it's just, I see the wee thing on the side, and I think, oh no, it's Gary with his
body position. Well, previously he had the body position. Hay sideways. Yeah, he had the silhouette of a man, didn't he? Fandango. Thunderbolts and lightning. Yeah, very frightening. Yeah.
Does it not just say GT?
Well, it does, yeah, but I was singing a song.
Oh, right.
Yeah, silhouette and lightning. Thunderbolts and lightning. Scaramouche, will you do the Fandango? Put him in the pit lane, put him in the pit lane. Oh, free wide.
Out wide.
Oh,
a wee bit of touchy-feely.
Yeah, bit bumpy. Oh, I think he moved to go into a gap, but there wasn't a gap there was a car there. Okay, breathe in, boys, because we're now going to go nearly 5 wide. Okay, Twilight and Connor, they're through, or on their way in, ahead. Can Hay get around Rich?
Oh, Rich on the grass on the inside, that's sent him wide. That was close.
Very close. Hay early on the brakes. Oh, I think Rich may have just got a bit of a tag, and I think it may have sent him into Conrad as well. Yeah, I think, I don't know who it was that tagged Rich, but it did look like he'd got a bit of a knock, as we're having another look at SGP. Now, in the practice sessions, Ray, Dave the Harp was rapid around here, but at the moment, SGP has got a big gap on Dave, and actually, Demon R is closing in on Dave the Harp.
wonder why Dave the Heart come race day is. Well, he's not struggling.
No.
Do you think SJP's just milk? What's it? Sandbagging?
Was you going to say milking it?
Yeah.
He's milking his sandbags.
Yeah.
To be honest, you know what? I think Dave has got the pace that he's quick. I just think that come race day, something's clicking with SGP and he's managing to turn it on. Either that, or, yeah, I mean, maybe he is sandbagging through. Pat Cam! Parabolic Connor making the move on Twilight. Who was it?
Sideways, Art Pal.
Yeah, it was. He was big time sideways, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just.
I wonder if he's been doing secret practice again.
Nah, it's just confusing me because he's so fast. We expect him to be up there, and like, even with Demon Art catching him, it wouldn't be a thing in practice. Nobody was catching him, not even Demon Art, unless Demon Art was sandbagging, I know.
No, not sandbagging. Maybe taking more risks in practice. Because I mean that may be what it comes down to, you know, that old adage of he who makes the less mistakes, or he who makes the least mistakes has less children.
I don't know about that.
Well, actually, okay, so yeah, he who makes more mistakes has more children. Bit of bumping. I think Hay got sideways on the grass there with Rich. Twilight behind Conrad. Tell you what, Conrad and Twilight have been having a cracking battle, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay, the pack is right behind them, but they have been able to sort of keep battling for that 6th place. I mean, whether it's going to result in anything more, I don't know. Because Jason's got.
I thought Art Pal was going to just tag the back of Twilight there, but he managed to get it slowed down. But I want to see behind these two because it's going off behind them. Why we don't want to see him get back in there? I take the night off because I wasn't feeling great, and this is what the camera guy's doing.
Yep.
Who was in second place? That Steve one. Tell you when I get back in there next Thursday.
Oh, look at the pack cam. Oh, it's getting close for second place. Look, interestingly, Demonar is catching Dave in the corners. The question now is going to be: is Demonar going to attack Dave, or are they going to work together?
I don't know. If Demonar's faster, I'll be getting past and then going. Try and make a break for it.
It's a good point you make.
Because if Demonar makes one mistake while he's behind Dave the Harp, then he's going to have to change it back up again.
Absolutely. As we're having a look at Jason. So Jason has got a bit of a gap to the pack. So Jason in 5th. Conrad Twilight still in that 6th and 7th battle. The pack cam looking at that gap between Dave and Jason's got quite a lot of fuel left compared to Conrad. Oh, Conrad's in the gravel! You look Jimmy!
So's Jimmy!
See,
somebody else in the back.
Conrad's sideways again into the gravel again! You lucky boy!
Where's Twilight? Twilight should have been attacking him unless Twilight had the moment.
Maybe. Well, it's on him now, isn't he? He thought about going round him towards Ascari. I mean, this is where I think Twilight.
Somebody on the inside.
Oh, that's Jimmy!
What?
What a move! What an evasive move! I think he may have realised he got his braking wrong there. As you know, Ray, sometimes when you make a mistake and you get it wrong, the best thing to do is speed up.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much you can speed up in these things.
Well, true.
As we see, it's too wide. Is that Gary and couldn't see.
His question for you though, Ray.
Gary? No, it's not Gary.
Oh, Connor! Holy cat! How many times does he want to get sideways? Well, here's a question for you. Would Twilight and Conrad be better if Twilight bump drafts Conrad now and they work together? Instead of pulling out and going for the move and pulling back in.
Yeah. well, I'd be bump drafting him till the second chicane here, and then go from on one side.
Connor's not a goner.
Like, how the hell is he still in this?
Rich! I saw Rich was massively out of shape.
He's gone to get his beer can. Where's Artpal?
I don't know.
Not Artpal, Twilight. He's off screen.
He may have been caught by Rich. I think Rich got massively out of shape on the way into the corner, into the braking zone, sorry. So maybe Twilight was...
There he's under pressure from Jimmy now.
Yeah, that he is.
Rich in the back.
Yep. Pat Cam's still looking at Demon R and Dave the Arp, so it looks like they're not working against each other, so to speak. They're not working together, they're not close enough. But yeah, I do wonder.
Demon R's lost a bit of time to do that.
Yeah. Looking at Conrad through a scarring. Big sideways! He ain't saying, round she goes! Who's gonna collect him? What the fuck? How the hell do you spin it like that and not only end up facing the right direction, but don't make contact with any of the cars that are there?
Do you know who we need to send that, cut that and send that to?
Who's that?
Super GT. Did you not see him in his Radical?
No.
He had a head on. He lost it at the old hairpin in Donington. And got collected head on with another car. Well, Connor could show him how he should have done it. Okay, Demon R's back on the back of Dave the Harp. Steve F1 is kind of in no man's land at the moment in 4th place. I think he's just trying to... looking at Steve's lap times, he's in the 53s. Jason in the 52s and 53s. SGP, Dave the Harp and Demon R, they're in the 51s now. Twilight's gone a little bit deep. He's into the... Oh no, Hayes in the gravel. Sorry, go on. Even with Twilight and Conrad doing what they were doing, the lap times 52, 53s. One was in the 54, and I think that's when Twilight got
Dave's got a bit deep. Dave's got deeper, Ascari. Oh, that could compromise him. Demon R's all over the back of him. This is where, like you mentioned, Ray, about is it worth, if you're faster, go past? I think Demon R's got to go past, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's either that or just be up Dave the Harp's backside. It puts him under pressure. And we know sometimes when Dave the Harp gets put...
Jason got a bit of a wobble on there. He's going... no, that's more than a wobble. He's in the barrier on the pack camp. Demon R's got past Dave the Harp. Sorry, we didn't see that, I don't think.
No.
Apologies, I can't believe that. I spent 40 minutes catching him. What did we get to see? Jason's plummeting. He's got the pack all on him now into the Parabolica, and somebody's in the barrier on the way into it.
Yeah, I've seen a brake mark. Somebody's way into the wall. Jesus.
Demon R and Dave the Art round Curva Grande, and the two Daves getting through there nicely. Well, we've only got 4 minutes to go.
I thought Dave the Hart was going to attack, but he's not. He's backed out of it, tucked back in behind Demon R. Maybe he's like, right, okay, I'll follow you this time. Let's go and catch him. But I think he's got 1, 2, 3 second lead. We've got 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what can happen, because anything can happen as Connor and Hay are side by side into the chicane. Jason Connor's sideways. Oh, he's surprised. No, just call him Jimmy.
Artpal ahead of Twilight. Oh, he's just done it there.
He might
so
have
Artpal's just got in front of this pack. What can Artpal do? Can he go away?
No, Connor! Has he got like a magnet on the front of his car that is like a scale electric car, so it spins round but always ends up facing the right direction?
I know.
It's another spin where he's managed to avoid everybody. I mean, I will say he's doing really well at that. Or someone's up the inside there, perhaps a bit late. I think it was Gary. Jason, if he was to touch the back of Twilight, then that could have got very messy. Maybe it did. It did get a bit messy. Hayes coming through as well.
Who's this? He is like, I'm coming through.
I think Hay may have got a little bit of a nudge from behind there. I could be wrong. And Hay has noticed Jimmy that looked like he was backing out. But yeah, I think because Twilight and Jason were perhaps a bit slow, someone's gone deep. Jimmy's gone straight on at the Parabolica. More like Para forgot his braking point.
Yeah, I did. I thought Conrad was going deep, but it wasn't. It was just a camera angle. As we see, Hay, Jason, Gary. Oh, Hay's got no slipstream. Oh, yes, he has. He's got it from Twilight, but Twilight wants to just spread that slipstream, and that means they can't catch him up as quick.
Oh, Jason and Gary, it's tight, it's close. Rich is on the inside as well.
Oh, Conrad!
Ooh! That'll be risky.
Yeah.
Jason will be lucky if he survived that. He has survived it. Oh, Gary!
Somebody's late on the brakes.
That's Gary! Oh, dear. Oh! Yeah, the cats are dead. Oh, Twilight's... Yeah, he's put Twilight in the gravel. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Disaster for Gary. Disaster for Twilight then. Twilight was breaking.
I don't know if I want Gary rescuing cats.
Yeah. He rescues them from people and then doesn't know if they'll survive the journey to the rescue centre. The thing is, do you know what's really scary is Gary's training to be a driving instructor. To be fair though, Conrad's made a mess of a Ascari on the pan cam. Look, Jason having a look.
It's slowed everybody. Oh no, Jason's got Jimmy. Crash. Rich is already there.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Go on, Jason, spin it. Come on, you're testing the legend cars. You know how to do this.
Yeah, nice J-turn. You'll be all right. Or it's kind of gone. Oh, holy!
Who was that? Was that Hay? Yeah, it was Hay.
It might have been. Yeah, thinking of his braking. Oh, look at the time rate. 55 seconds. Is this the last lap for these guys? I think Connor's crossed the line. Rich hasn't. Rich has got the checkered flag. So's Gary. How the crap? Gary's finished in 9th. I don't know. Hay in 10th. Jimmy in 11th.
Stop.
Wait for Jason. Yeah. Oh dear. So yeah. Oh, disaster. He couldn't have gone much worse for Jason on that last lap then, could it? Okay, so we've still got 7 cars in the background.
Go on. You see Demonar in the background, but he's too far away. Yeah. Unless SGP
makes a mistake.
Commentator's curse does well here and messes up.
Yeah, you're doing really well. The curse that shall not be spoken during the league race. So SGP has only got one more corner to go then to make it 2 wins out of 2. Demonar is ahead of Dave the Harp. If he doesn't make a mess of it down at the Parabolica, on the pack cam. So looking at Steve F1, Art Pal, he broke away from the pack, by the way.
Yeah, I want to see how Dave the Harp and Demonar, how close they are. Like,
I don't think that's really. Boring. I think it's a big enough gap, though. Unfortunately, SGP's going to cross the line, taking the win and spinning it. Only Conrad can do it better. Across the line, Conrad's got a bit out of shape through Ascari. Oh, chaos over the line. Demonar second, Dave the Harp third, Steve F1, barely seen him. He's in 4th.
Art Pile in 5th.
Yeah. Connor then down into the final corner. He's had some trials and tribulations in today's race. And Twilight, he thinks it's Christmas.
He's hit the barrier as well.
This spinning with everything that Conrad's got away with in today's race, and then that happens to him at the end. That's luck is a cruel mistress. That is for certain. Oh wow. Oh, I'm not so much
as he doesn't get across the line.
Yeah. Oh dear. Wow, what a finish. What a race.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, people may have differences of opinions of how that race went for them. From an entertainment factor, absolutely brilliant. Okay, SGP has managed to sort of break away up at the front and run away, but it's not like he ran away miles off into the distance. I think if he'd have made a single mistake, then obviously Demon R and Dave the Heart were there to capitalise on that. And I've just shared with you the qualifying result again, not the race result. I'll try sending that one instead. Okay. And I'll find out that that's the same picture. No, it's not. So SGP's done really well there to take the victory, 2 out of 2 now. And to be honest, when no one was expecting him to be anywhere near to it, I mean, something else you don't know actually, Ray, is in qualifying, I mentioned that Demon R and SGP did exactly the same lap times. They did, right? Demon R set a 1 minute 52.085, crossed the line and got the checkered flag. But SGP then, he was ahead on the track, but had crossed the line to start his last lap. So Demon R got the fastest lap in qualifying, then SGP got it second, and it put him on pole.
Why is that? I'd have thought it would have put the first person to get it on pole.
That's what I thought. That's why I was effing and blinding like mad. But then, to be fair, if there's ever a track you don't actually want to be on pole position, this was one of them. A bit like Spa. You don't really want to be on pole in Spa.
Especially going up the Camel Straight.
Absolutely. I mean, so yeah. But it's something we may have to keep an eye out in future, because if I wanted to kick up a fuss about it, or if any driver wanted to, then technically it should be the other way round. The person who gets it second goes second. But anyway, I'm not bitter about it at all.
Bullshit.
Yeah. So Demon R, a decent race. Made a couple of mistakes early on and had to come back through, but did well to do so. Dave the Art, though, I've got to say, I think he's had an absolutely brilliant race there, Ray. There was only one error, and it was only a small one, dipped a wheel through a Scari, and that gave Demon R the opportunity to attack him in the last couple of laps. Other than that, it was faultless.
Yep.
Not only that, I think looking at the way Dave was driving around it, a lot smoother than normal.
Could possibly be. I wasn't paying much attention.
No, well, to be fair, we wasn't watching it that much, but yeah. Excuse me. Steve F1 finished in 5th. What would you say about Steve?
He finished in 4th.
Was it 4th? My apologies, 4th.
Yeah, well, we never really got to see much of Steve F1. He had a bit of a lonely rest, didn't he?
Yeah, they did. Was able to keep the pace early on, but then, yeah, it looked like it was more don't make mistakes for Steve through that race.
Yeah, I finished like 19 seconds behind the leader, I would say. Yeah, leader.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something, I mean, for Dave the Arp, okay, he's ended up behind SGP and behind Demon R, but he's ended up nearly, 16 seconds ahead of the likes of Steve F1. It's not an easy thing to do. 5th place, Art Pal.
Yeah, but I've seen him in the battles, Conrad, Twilight, Jimmy Hay, and that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good end. I think it was the last few laps it just opened up for Art Pal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you definitely have to say there was a bit of luck in there, I think, because when we saw Gary way late on the brakes at the chicane and sort of put Twilight in the gravel, I think that may have been what opened up the field a bit, and it allowed Art Pal to break away. But then it's one of those, I mean, we saw with Jason had a gap to the pack throughout that race, and as soon as he made one mistake, he was back in the fight then. So for Art Pal, it's sort of like probably 36 minutes of absolute chaos, and those last 4 minutes had to be extreme concentration and putting the car in the right places, which he managed to do.
Yeah, and then Twilight 6 after being off and getting stuck on
Ballard, yeah.
Protect barrier, whatever you want to call
it. Right words, wrong order. Yeah, I mean, Twilight definitely had an up and down race, didn't he?
Yeah,
boom, boom.
He was he was in the wars, but he had a good racing with Conrad. Seen him and Conrad side by side quite a lot.
Yeah, and let's not forget as well, Twilight was running in 3rd or 4th, I think, for the early stage of the first 4 laps of the race. He was in that battle of the top 5. And again, unfortunately for Twilight, it was one minor error, dipping a wheel through Ascari, and it set him back into the pack. And yes, it was a challenge for him from there, but he showed brilliant pace. And brilliant racing and brilliant driving. I mean, we didn't see him braking and going deep into corners or anything like that, did we? So, yeah, I mean, I would say it looks like he's getting to grips with the car. He'll just be hoping that others can also start getting a bit more to grips with the car, because I think for Twilight, he was perhaps the unfortunate victim on a few occasions in this race.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with that. And then 7th,
wow,
the man with the purple thong, Jesus.
It might have a few brand stains in it, but
yeah. But yeah, well, what can we say? He was in the battles, he was spinning, he was in the battles, he was spinning.
Well, he was in the battles and he was not spinning. I mean, this is something I have mentioned before about other people is, I mean, Connor, as far as I know, had no practice coming into this race, which means all those things that those who did a bit of practice would be aware of, like if you dip a wheel around Curva Grande or Ascari or clip a curb too hard, you don't have that experience, direct experience. So for Conrad to dip a wheel so many times and keep facing the right direction, you probably won't want to hear it, but it's a very positive thing, because it is a big difference between dipping a wheel and saving it compared to dipping a wheel and not saving it. So even if Conrad is frustrated with how that race has gone, personally I think he should actually look at the positives in it and go, well, you know what, no practice, I've done bloody well there, I had decent pace and I managed to save myself God knows how many times. In 8th place, Rich Blues. Well, what can we say? Stuffed hay in the pits on lap 2. But
was it Rich? I thought it was Jason.
No. Well, interestingly, I don't know if it's been reported or not, but we are going to have a look at it on the G-Spot. There is a G-Spot this week. So that is one thing that will be looked at on the G-Spot, just out of interest. But yeah, so Hay, let's put it this way, Rich was definitely in the vicinity of Hay when Hay ended up going in the pits. And again, for Rich, no practice for him, so a difficult one. Probably spent the first 20-25 minutes of this race realising, okay, I can't brake at 200 metres, I've got to brake a bit before.
Yeah, he was more at the back of the pack battles, wasn't he? Now he's finished at the near enough the front end. If we take 6th places where the pack was, so he's kind of finished in the front end of the pack, which is quite.
Well, he survived it well.
Good,
Survived it well.
Yeah, he's survived it well.
I mean, Formula Gary in 9th. Again, Gary had like about 20 minutes practice before today's race. Struggled a lot. Definitely struggled with his braking point. Something you won't know, Ray, is that I mean, I believe you did do a bit of driving around this track in this car.
Yeah.
So, for example, like like Parabolica, for example, braking point's about 200 metres. We mentioned it during the race. But you know that if you brake late there, you're going deep. During the race, we didn't see it on the footage, but there was one moment where I do believe the drivers heard Gary going, "Why is everybody so slow in the last corner?" Because he braked at about 100 metres, bounced off all the cars and got around the corner, which we didn't see. But he didn't realise, he'd forgotten that the braking point was at 200 metres. And the thing is, that was at a point where, for Gary, unfortunately, he had a few spins early on and ended up about 30 seconds behind 11th place. So he had a lot of laps of being on his own. And then when he got back into the pack with everybody, it just kind of blocked his braking points and put him off. So he was wondering why everyone's going slow, and it's because he was going way too fast.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
Especially at 100 metres.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, Formula Guy, Tenno finishing ninth. He's done well. To get to the end of the race, he's done well because it was a tough one for him. Hay finished in 10th place, considering he was in the pits involuntarily. Tough one, but I think he's done well to keep his nose out of most of the trouble.
Yeah, or did he put his nose mostly in trouble?
Probably.
Did he not? He had one thing up at the second chicane, didn't he? Where I think he just missed his braking point, but he was in the battles as well. He was there.
Yeah.
I don't know, do we need a livery change to
Maybe.
Formula Gary and they seem the same. Maybe I just need to get my eyes tested.
Well, no, to be fair, from behind it is difficult to see.
Why?
Okay, Jason, it was very unfortunate, wasn't he, Jason?
Yeah.
And Jimmy.
He was, what was he? He was fifth, having a bit of much lonely race, and just made that one mistake, which turned out to be a big mistake.
Oh yeah. And thinking about it, I mean, there was that big crash, wasn't there? Was that just before? I think that was their last lap, wasn't it? Was that, or unless something else happened? I know there was the big crash out on the exit of Ascari that collected Jason and a few others. But yeah, I mean, we saw Jimmy waiting for Jason towards the end, so I can't remember I know I've only just watched it, but I can't remember if anything else happened. But yeah, massively unfortunate for Jason. And sometimes that's, yeah. If Jason was driving around going, oh, this is a bit of but I could do with a bit more excitement in this race, I bet he would have regretted saying that. But yeah, he was doing well, and as you mentioned, one tiny error, and it cost him big time. Jimmy, wow, what do we say about Jimmy?
Well, most of the time we've seen him sideways, just like Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was having good racing. Was it a couple of times late on the brakes, but was surviving.
Yep.
But yeah, he was in, like, from 6 down, there wasn't much, was there, between them?
No, not
so
at all.
He was they were jumping about, joisting for positions.
Mm-hmm.
So
the thing is,
he was in.
So go on.
They were all in the battle. So
yeah. I mean, what I was going to say, I know we mentioned it in the first race or after the first race, that although yes, the booster has allowed people to close up again. It's not like these cars are really powerful in the slipstream, so it's not like we were ending up with 4 wide heading into Curva Grande. Like when a car was behind another, if they were like 2, 3, 4 car lengths behind, the slipstream wasn't so powerful that they were just right up behind them, leading to the temptation of putting themselves into really dangerous positions. And I do like that. The overtaking it's not been easy again, which I do like. Drivers having to work for it.
Yeah, it's not. The overtaking isn't on the boost. The overtaking's on the driver putting himself in a position, or herself, if there's any of them in there.
Any them? Who are you calling them?
well, it's 2022, you know.
Well, yeah, it could be a wee bit.
Yeah, so it's the drivers need to put themselves into a position for the overtake. They can't. The boost doesn't help him with overtakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so in a moment, I know we've just gone sort of through the result there, but we will go through a confirmation result, see if there's been any reports or stuff in a few moments. Just want to mention though that the next track, because we should mention that, I was just looking to see if I'd got. It's been a while since we've raced at the track, which means I haven't got an up-to-date track map with corner names for that circuit.
Yeah.
Because it is Alsace. Is it Alsace Village? Yeah, it's Alsace.
No, Alsace.
Yeah.
At 9 o'clock. I don't know if it's AM. No, it's AM. 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be cold and slippery.
And that it is. And it's a tricky track, is Alsace, because it's the one with the long banked right-hand corner. It's got a dead short pit lane.
Oh, yeah. And then you've got after the long bank corner, you've got a slight kink to the left, and then it's hard on the brakes into a hairpin.
No, it's hard on the brakes about 300 metres before the kink.
Yeah. And then the hairpin, and then you're uphill, and then you've got a downhill chicane with a bit of wall that sticks out. It'll be interesting if they hits that.
Yep.
And then you've also got the possibility of people spinning and ending up in the pits there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a very different racetrack to Monza. It is still quite a high-speed circuit on a couple of sections, but it is corner, 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 corner. And in this car, a lot of braking. Interestingly, there's one person that I think has got an advantage going into the race at Alsace. And although they probably don't see it as that. Okay, so for example, Ray, if you go and do some practice at Alsace, you're going to have to go through the process of, no, don't brake at race car point, I've got to brake earlier. But if there was somebody that didn't know the circuit and had to learn it, oh, this is where I brake, would that be easier?
I don't know.
Neither do I. We'll have to ask Art Pal next week, because he's not raced around there. He doesn't really know the track. Now, obviously, there's difficulties of not knowing a circuit, but I do think there's advantages of there isn't going to be that confusion of, like, because this is the thought process that goes off for me, I know, is, it happens in a fraction of a second, my braking point's around the corner. Like you said, brake hard, go around the kink, brake hard for the hairpin. Well, you can't. You've got to brake for the kink. And not only have you got to brake for the kink, you've got to brake enough for the kink that once you've got round the kink, you can still slow it down to get around the hairpin. Whereas for Art Pal, he's not going to have that thought process. He'll see that.
He's going to brake for the kink.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to brake for the kink, and that's going to sort of settle him for the hairpin. Yeah, I understand.
Or he's going to brake for the kink and he's going to get rammed up the arse, which is highly possible. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I will mention again, there is a G-spot this week. So I'll mention now a couple of things that we're looking at. I mentioned on last week's video that a race report was put in, but it was too vague for the stewards to look at. And Jason was informed of that and he was okay with that. I have spent the time going through all of Jason's footage so I could have a look at it and we could have a look at it on the G-spot. So there's still not going to be any stewarding on it because his report was too vague. He didn't give us a lap number or... he gave us a corner. Yeah. He basically said, was it like first corner and last corner, but didn't tell us what lap it was on.
Lap or time. So the usually process for giving reports would be the time above play would be ideal, and then a wee description of what happened, and Bob's your uncle.
Absolutely. You know what? I wasn't listening to anything you were saying then. I do apologise.
Okay. That's fine. It's done and dusted. And I'd also like to know the drivers' feedback from this championship and what they think
so far. You might want to
Yeah,
wait.
so far.
Well, let's
Stick it in
let's put it this
the
way.
comments.
I know at least 3 or 4 drivers have been asking what's the next championship car. We're not releasing that information yet.
I don't even fucking know. So,
well, funnily enough, that's what we said you'd say. Well, actually, no, we said you'd say. The thing is, you do know because you said it earlier. The Samba bus.
yeah,
Yeah.
Samba bus.
Samba bus. Yeah.
1,000 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
And comfort sauce.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, there will be information announced very soon about what's happening next. Don't worry, folks. But one of the things that we don't want to do, we do want people to stick it in. Hang on, that sounds stick it in there with this car. No, stick in with it. Stick with it. Stick with it.
The car.
Stick with this car, because although I know some people may think it's crap, it's actually pretty good. It's just that get that braking sorted. Once you get that braking at the right point sorted, and realizing, okay, yeah, it's going to feel slow, you'll be all right. Because interestingly, I've said before, sometimes the sensation of speed can come from a visual thing. Wow, that looks like it's going fast. Or a sound thing. Holy cow, I'm only doing 50, but it sounds like I'm doing 100. That can have an effect. And another factor is being wheel to wheel with other people can give a sense of speed. So it doesn't matter if the car's slow in a braking zone, because if you're side by side with somebody in a braking zone, it's not about how slow it is, it's about who can be that little bit quicker and survive. And it then becomes about the race with the other car, not how slow you're going in this car or how fast you're going through a braking zone because you miss your brakes. But anyway, yeah, stick with it. Also, yeah, on the G-Spot, that's what I was talking about. On the G-Spot, I know at the point of us doing this commentary right now, there has been one report placed. There's going to be a commentator's view on that report, not a steward's not a steward's review for this week. Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
No, I was just taking the mick out of Rapoo.
All right, okay, thank you very much. I shall repoo that repoo. And there is going to be a couple of other special featured items as well. I just want to ask you though, Ray, because seeing as you're a chef, do you find it difficult when other people cook for you?
Do I find it difficult?
Well, not difficult, but like, does it frustrate you sometimes? Because like, obviously, if you're a chef, you know how to cook, and like if someone says, "Oh, I'll do your bacon sarnie, but it's not as good," or "I'll do you a lasagna, but it's not as good." Would you rather cook yourself?
Well, that's two different questions. Like, I was thinking if somebody was to cook for me, and it doesn't matter that they've tried. So, who am I to, even though I'm a chef, who am I to put them down for trying?
And then, given the choice, you'd have rather have cooked.
No, because if somebody wants to cook, then you got to give them that opportunity, or else they're never going to
learn.
Either learn or do it.
Yeah.
So, and what was the second part of the question? Would I rather
cook yourself?
To be honest, I'm not fussed if I'd rather cook for myself or if somebody cooked for me. If somebody's cooking for you, you can see different ideas of how people are cooking, and then if it's something different to what you would do, but it worked out, then you could add that into yourself. So I'm not really fussed if other people cook, because then you get kind of more knowledge in a way, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Also, I mean, when someone is cooking specially for you, there is that there's a more emotion attached to it. If you know what I mean, it's like someone giving you a gift, but.
Unless it was the wife, the first time she cooked for me, she cooked a baked potato I could put through fucking quadruple glazing.
I'm guessing Kirsty can't hear it. Well, I mean, one of the reasons I asked is because I think.
But that is a true story.
Yeah.
The first time she ever cooked for me was a baked potato. It was still solid.
To be fair, if I tried cooking a baked potato, I ain't got a clue, never done it. But I mean, I'm of the same thought process of you. But I mean, but it's like the reason I ask is because I do find it an interesting topic, and it's obviously something you specialise in. But my new girlfriend got upset though because she thinks that I don't like her cooking. So to prove her wrong, I had another slice of gravy.
Oh, it's too thick.
Oh dear.
I think the only time I would complain is if I was in a restaurant where a chef should know how to fucking cook and something came and it was disastrous.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, descriptions can be misleading. I ended up in the ER last week, and I don't want to bore you with the details, but the Dyson ball cleaner is a dangerously misleading product name.
Dyson ball
And on that bombshell, I think it's time to check out the confirmed race result and the championship standings. Confirmation then of the race result. SGP taking the victory, the maximum 20 points. Demon R second place on 17. David Harp third. Steve F1 in fourth. Art Pal in fifth. Twilight sixth. Conrad in seventh. Rich Blues in eighth. Formula Gary in ninth, but you'll notice with a penalty. Hay in 10th place. 11th is Jason, and 12th was Jimmy. Now regarding Formula Gary's penalty, by now the stewards report should have been posted, but myself and Ray do touch on it on the G-Spot this week, because there is a G-Spot this week, but from a commentator's perspective, so we will have a look at it, but it is generally from a commentator's perspective, but I can confirm now that a penalty has been applied to Gary for that incident. Okay. Unfortunate for Twilight that he was involved in that crash, and also unfortunate for Jason right at the end there with I think Jimmy must have thought it was his fault and that's why he waited. Okay, so current standings after two races, SGP leads the way 40 points, David Harp in second, 8 behind him. In third place is Demon R on 28 points, Steve F1 2 behind him. A little bit of a gap, 6 points to Art Pal in 5th place, and then Jason in 6th on 18 points. Twilight's in 7th on 17 with Hay in 8th on 16, and then we've got a three-way tie, SRI, Jimmy and Conrad, 15 points for each of them, and 9th place for each of them. Formula Gary, 12th place, 12 points. Rich Blues in 13th on 9 points, and then Bunsell in 14th on 0 points. Hopefully he'll be able to get out of his tent and join us on the racetrack soon. As you can see, there is a couple of seats available, so if you are interested, get in touch with Dynamic GT League on Facebook. Drop us a message and we shall try and get you into some of the practice sessions. We won't just throw someone straight into a race because, as we've said before, we would need to get the driver integrated into the league with the way that it runs, the way the penalties are given, the way drivers are expected to race, and so on and so on. The racing etiquette of the Dynamic GT League. So if you think you're interested, drop us a message. As we mentioned, next race is from the Alsace village. It's going to be a tricky one with that bank corner. It'll be interesting to see how drivers get on around that circuit. Right, thanks for watching, listening, and you know what to do: like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family if you dare, and we'll see you all next time. Have a good one. See you all soon.